Look at the situation. The one time he says something out loud in front of a room that appeared to be 50 to 60 people and a camera and 2 law enforcement officers, uniformed law enforcement officers, sitting right there. He decides to say something out loud that is sexual in nature instead of complimenting her on her speaking ability. Come on, use your head. Does that make sense? So, okay, maybe not everybody uses the word hot to describe somebody's speaking ability, but this gentleman, who is a farmer, did. You know, if it had been on the football field and somebody's performance had been, really good, that might have made sense and nobody would have blinked an eye. She didn't get up there and in a freaking bathing suit and model for everybody. This wasn't a beauty pageant. She literally had just asked a line of questions that most adults can't ask. She was on fire for her performance in that way. And he touched her on the arm and said, "Psst, yeah, you are hot." Now, yeah, okay, maybe that's kind of awkward. But you know what? This is not the first time I've seen adults say awkward things. Not everybody comes out and says the right word that sounds appropriate. And if somebody had a video camera every time I've been complimented by every adult in my life and got a 10-second clip, I guarantee you they could have taken that and run with it and be like, this dude's hitting on him. Come on, use your head, people. We live in a generation where everything's clickbait, or not clickbait, it's a freaking sound bites. Well, it's clickbait too, but it's sound bites. Everything is sound bites. And people don't do research. They're too freaking lazy. They want to be told what to think. The headline, this individual, he called her hot. Why did he call her hot? Well, there's only one reason you would call a young lady hot, right? He wouldn't have called a young boy that, right? You don't know that. Somebody's on a freaking football field and they make a touchdown and he makes several touchdowns. This guy's on fire. Maybe a coach or somebody who doesn't use the right word at the time might call the individual hot. I don't know. But I do remember throughout my time growing up, there are adults who used awkward terminology to compliment me. So yeah. So use your freaking heads, people. And then, yeah. And then if you look online, they're posting this article from 2010 where he got censored. He didn't get charged with anything. He didn't get removed from the board. He got censored. Why would he have been allowed to remain on the board if he had done something horrible or something related to that was predatory in nature? Think about it. If you read the article, it said he made a gesture. Now use your head here for a second, people. What kind of gesture do teenagers use, or even in the military, that we commonly use to individuals who say something that you think is dumb? That's kind of a lewd gesture. I'm not going to make the full gesture here, but when I think somebody says something dumb, yeah, I've done it. If I'm being honest, yeah, I've made the gesture. Yeah, it doesn't take a freaking genius to figure that one out. Oh, but because he did this gesture back in 2010, he's a sexual predator. Yeah? He said some bad words. Do you know how many times I heard an adult in high school use a bad word? When I was in the gym and some knucklehead decided to take the weights off of one end of the bar, and instead of evenly, like coach had just literally told us to take off the weights evenly, one at a time off of each side, instead of all the weights off of one end of the bar at one time. Yeah, And then coach went off on this individual, and guess what? Not all those words were nice. Yeah. So yeah, he got censored. He's not allowed to go on campus unless one of the other board members is with him and it's an official function or official board meeting. Yeah, well, that makes sense. But he wasn't banned from the board. He wasn't, completely taken off the board, and he wasn't charged with anything. Why? Because it wasn't actually sexual in nature. Yeah, okay, it was a lewd gesture. He used a bad word. But now you look on the internet, everybody's like, oh my gosh, there's a pattern here. A pattern of what? Genius. But this is how people work in society. You tell them what to think before you show them a 10-second clip. You show them an article. They don't know what the article is. It was a gesture. Well, what kind of gesture? Was he trying to pick up a little girl or a young lady, underage? Can you tell me? No, you can't. But you're going to post it on the internet and everybody's going to click likes on it. Oh my gosh, there's a pattern here. People are dumb. Sorry. I'm not trying to insult everybody's intelligence out there, but you know what? I'm a retired senior NCO. I'm used to talking to people in the military. So yeah, there's knuckleheads out here. They don't think. I was taught a little bit about human psychology and how to deal with people, and I've had to deal with human issues. People just don't think. And I've had to deal with problems, and I've had to figure out who's telling the truth and how to look at situations before running it up the chain of command. Is this guy some kind of predator? Is everything that's being posted on the internet, does it make sense? So yeah, I'm going to look at the evidence first instead of jumping on the bandwagon like all these other people. Oh my gosh, I watched the 10-second video. I don't need to see anything else. I know what he said. I know what he meant by it. Do you? You've never seen anybody use a word that just was kind of awkward, but he didn't really mean it in that way. You've never seen that before. Really? People, they're dumb. All right, I'll get off my soapbox here, but think about what you're accusing this guy of. I don't even know the individual. I just get sick and tired of watching people jump to conclusions off of 10-second video clips. And they don't even care to watch to see if this guy actually is some kind of predator. And then if you ask the question, did you watch the whole video? Did you see everything? They'll accuse you of being some kind of pedophile or well, if you're trying to protect this guy, you must be one yourself, right? Well, only pedophiles protect pedophiles, right? No, it's called wanting the truth, people. Do you care about the truth? You want to accuse every individual out there of something without knowing the facts? We live in a society now where facts don't seem to matter anymore. Everything is just, well, I seen the 10-second video. That's all I need. Yeah, let's throw this guy under the bus. Well, I'm not trying to get elected to any kind of position, so I can get on here and say whatever the hell I want. I'm not worried about being accused of something. Yeah, somebody asked me if I wanted to run for a position in our county. No, I'm not getting involved in politics. That's why I joined the military. I did my 23 years in the military. I'm not playing this stupid game. Freaking politics. Because you got to deal with crap like this. No. But yeah, use your head, people.